All right, all right. What is going on, Bree Hive? Welcome back to the live stream. It is nice to be back. Had a good little vacation. Oh, let me go ahead and turn on TikTok as well. What is going on? It is Tuesday already this week. We're having a good day. If you guys are here on the last live stream, you know we had a little bit of issues going on with the audio, but we got it all fixed. We got new mics, we got a new system. We are having it all together. And y'all, I finally got the Roadcaster soundboard. So we got some sound effects going on now, and we're gonna have some fun. I still have to set it up a little bit more. But eventually it should get a little bit more popping. And as you can see, our sign came in. We got the Bree Hive sign. I don't know why it's flickering. I'm going to have to figure out what is going on back there and get all the lighting and stuff together. But we'll work on it as we move on. Today, we are going to be going back over the Lizzo lawsuit. We did touch on it a little bit. However, my audio is messing up all last week, or not all last week, on Thursday. So we're going to go right back through that, through the response from Lizzo to her dancers lawsuit. Because remember, she has 2 lawsuits going on right now. We're going to go over the answer for that, maybe not the whole thing, because if you remember from yesterday or from Thursday, it was very, very long. So we are going to go ahead and check that out. And then we're going to talk about Joe Jonas and the fact that him and Sophie Turner has come to a somewhat agreement for their custody and also maybe even their divorce. With the celebrity lawsuits, you are dealing probably with a prenup, so they probably do not need to go through the court for their particular marriage situation. They're mostly going to be fighting over the custody of the kids. Like I said, if you guys see some weird stuff going on in the frame, don't worry about it. We're going to get everything together. We're trying to step up the studio, so I hope that you guys really like it. If you're watching on TikTok, you can't see the sign, so I'm definitely going to have to rearrange that. Let me go ahead and say hello to the people coming in. We got Summer Butterfly. Hello, welcome back to the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Saying good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome in. Nice to see you. We got Tanya D, a member and moderator of the channel, saying hey there to Summer Butterfly. Hey, Tanya D, welcome in. Nice to see you tonight. We got Kimmy Locker, our paralegal member and moderator of the channel and on TikTok as well. How are you doing? Welcome into the live stream. Kimmy helped me get all the documents together for today, and she even found some more documents. I don't know if we're going to get to them today, but if we don't get to them today, we'll probably jump on them on Thursday because it's a lot of good information. I saw some of the things, but I did not know what it was talking about until Kimmy found it. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so make sure y'all say thank you to the paralegal Kimmy. Let me see in the back. All right. Got it. Sorry, we're checking my comments in the back. Everything's good. We'll be able to see the documents, but it's just a little stranger. Okay. And then Tiny D saying cute sign, Bree. Thank you. I freaking love it. It got the little 2 bumblebees. Can you guys tell that it's bumblebees on the end, or does it just look like a bug? Does it just look like a bug, y'all? We got 7 people watching on TikTok, which is surprising. And we also have 7 people tonight. I know I posted super late, but we're going to get better at that. Tanya D says, hope you have fun at homecoming. I did. Which homecoming did you go to? I had a great time at homecoming. It was a good time. I was tired. Came back to work to put out a bunch of fires. So now we're right back to regular life, which is exciting, but maybe not so much. Tiny D says, for everyone coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Yes, of course. If you have not already, please do hit the like button. It does help me out in the algorithm. We already got 9 likes over on TikTok. I don't know if this is going to be a competition. Let's see what we got over here on YouTube. We got 8 likes. So right now, TikTok likes are beating the YouTube likes, which is strange because, you know, I just started live streaming on TikTok. So shout out to TikTok. Shout out to freaking TikTok for the likes. YouTube, come on, OGs. We got to step it up. If you have not hit the like button, please do hit the like button. We're still at 8 there. Maybe we're a little delayed, so we'll see. TikTok is still at 9, so YouTube, you can still catch up. Thank you for the reminder, Tanya D. And Ward says, hey, Bree in chat. Hello, welcome in. It's nice to see you today. Kimmy Locker says, I can tell when I look I can tell when I look, but I thought the bees were honeycombs at first. I probably should have did a honeycomb. That would have been cute. I didn't even think of it. Ann Word says, "Hi mods, hello, welcome into the live stream. Nice to have you here today." Mary Malarkey says, "Hello, Bree. The sign really adds something to the view. It's bright and cheery. Thank you very much. We're gonna put some more stuff back there, but y'all, if you can see how the rest of my office looks right now, it looks crazy. We have new audio equipment, new microphones. We got stands, we got lights, we got all kinds of things. I want it to be a little bit darker for the ambiance. And maybe that's, well, I think the light is just going to flicker. I don't know why it's doing that. I think the camera's picking it up because when I look at it with my regular eyes, it's not flickering. So maybe it's something with the light. We'll figure it out. Tanya D says, "Hey to Am." Tanya D says, "Good to see you to Mary Malarkey." And Kimmy Locker says, "Cute either way." Thank you very much. Yeah. TikTok, y'all will see it eventually. We don't have any comments coming in on TikTok, but that's okay. We're a little shy on TikTok, people popping in and out. All right, let's get to the live stream. Let's get to the cases. We're going to start with Joe Jonas. I actually want to go back because remember, we covered this, what was that, a week or two ago, where Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas kind of got into it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I forgot I had these headphones on. I'm like, what do you got going on, girl? What are you trying to do? We started with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner filing an action in New York court to have the custody case transferred over or give her permission to transfer the kids back to the UK because she said that is where they created their home. That's their domicile, and the UK should have jurisdiction over what custody should be done with the children. However, they had a house in Florida for several years, and Joe Jonas went ahead and filed divorce in Florida. So my interpretation is that, hey, this custody issue needs to be decided in Florida because that is probably the domicile of the parties. Even though maybe they didn't intend to stay there forever, that is probably where the parties are from and where they need to handle the custody case. Now, which has been maybe like a week or so maybe not exactly now, but now it looks like the parties are coming to an agreement. They're doing mediation. They're working together. So we're going to go ahead and actually look at the divorce petition and bear with me, y'all, because I did not review it before pulling it up. But we're going to go through it anyways. Again, we have 29 likes on TikTok live stream. I know we're not going to quite be there yet on YouTube because we don't have as many people watching live. I know I posted super late that we were going to be live, but y'all, we're still at 8 likes. So if you have not hit the like button already and you're watching live, and I know at least one person has not hit the like button because there's 9 people watching live, make sure you do hit the like button. And thank you to Kimmy for putting on the ticker. I was like, where did that come from? Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen. We got the Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial District in Miami-Dade. And y'all, this looks a lot different than the California divorce petitions. If you've seen me cover like the Kim Kardashian lawsuit, our divorce petitions look a lot different than this. It's a form. We don't have to draft it all up like this. So it's very interesting to see that change. Okay, and then it says the petition for dissolution of marriage and related relief with minor children. You have to let the court know that you're dealing with children because there's different things that you have to do when there are kids in the lawsuit. And then we go on to say the petitioner Joseph Jonas, by and through his undersigned attorneys, makes and files his petition for dissolution of marriage and related relief, and in support thereof states as follows. Can I learn how to read today? All right, we got action for dissolution of marriage. This is an action for dissolution of marriage. That's very repetitive. I'm glad our forms are not like this. We check the box, we move on. For those of you watching on TikTok, I am live on YouTube, and if you actually want to see the documents, it is on YouTube. So if you have YouTube and you want to see what we're talking about, I'm not just staring at the screen, I promise. It is on YouTube. Okay, their residence, the petitioner has been a resident of the state of Florida. What did I say? The domicile is what he's trying to establish here. Has been a resident of the state of Florida for more than 6 months prior to the filing of the petition. That is what I was referring to. They sold the house in maybe April. Were they still living there? That is a question that they are going to have to answer with the court. And over on YouTube, I am getting a lower signal. So let me know in the chat if it is glitching in any way for you guys. And Sam, that my Wi-Fi is low right now. Long arm statute jurisdiction. Again, this is talking about the domicile. Does the court have jurisdiction over Sophie Turner because she is in the UK? Does the court have jurisdiction over Joe Jonas because they were living in Florida, but they also went to UK, but they also went to New York? And where the heck do these people live? But they're filing for a divorce, right? The respondent is subject to the jurisdiction of this court pursuant this section of the Florida statutes, even if served outside of the state of Florida. The parties have been maintaining a matrimonial domicile in the state of Florida. Further, the respondent was a resident of the state of Florida at the time of the filing of this action and had been a resident of Florida approximately preceding the filing of this action. When did he file? It was filed on September 5th, but she was already in the UK, but also she was doing a job there. So that does make sense. Let's see if they give us any further information. The parties were married to each other on May 1st, 2019 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Grounds for dissolution of marriage. The marriage is between the parties is irretrievably broken. That's an interesting way to say it. That is a very interesting way to say it. We say irreconcilable differences in California. If you know what you call it in your state, go ahead and drop it in the chat and let us know what you call it when you just cannot resolve the issues between you and your spouse, and so you decide to get a divorce. Okay, there are 2 children born of the marriage, to wit, is WJ born 2020 and DJ born 2022. The petitioner is not pregnant and no additional issue is contemplated. You have to make sure that you don't want to start deciding whether, you guys divide custody and then it turns out you have a kid on the side or you have a kid on the way, and they're holding you liable. Even if you got pregnant by someone else and you were married at the time, your husband will technically be the legal father and he would have to fight to get rid of that baby. So ladies, if you're pregnant and you're filing for a divorce, make sure you let the court know. Parental responsibility. It is in the best interest of the minor children that the parties have shared parental responsibility, basically asking for joint custody. Parenting plan. A parenting plan should be established, which addresses all parenting issues and contains a time-sharing schedule, providing for frequent and continuing contact with both parties. The children have been residing with their father in Miami and other locations throughout the United States. He could have said also with mother as well. That was an interesting way for him to put it. Oh, they've just been living with dad. What about mom? You guys live together. Don't be a-hole, okay? Oh, y'all, where is it? Oh, I don't even remember what it is. Oh, here we go. I can cuss now. Because I got the beep. Let me know if you guys can hear it on TikTok. Of course, you can't hear it. Well, y'all, we are still at 29 likes over on TikTok. And we're at 10 likes on YouTube. So if you have not hit the like button yet, please do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. As you know, we are trying to get back on track with the algorithm. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Let's talk about the prenuptial agreement between Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. The parties entered into a valid and enforceable prenuptial agreement on April 27, 2019. The court should determine that the prenuptial agreement is valid and enforceable and direct the parties to comply with the terms of the agreement. The prenuptial agreement has not been attached to protect the privacy rights of the party. In the event that respondents request the filing of the prenuptial agreement, the petitioner is prepared to do so. So basically what they're saying in the Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner lawsuit is that there is a prenuptial agreement. We already decided on how we're going to divide our assets. We already decided on how we're going to do spousal support. We cannot decide on child support, so we are going to need your help with it. And you can't really decide on custody at that point either. So they will have to go to court for those particular issues. Child support. Both parties have the ability to provide for the support of the minor children, and they should both be required to contribute to the support of the minor children in accordance with the Florida statute. The court should establish child support in accordance with Florida child support guidelines, including consideration of health insurance for the minor children. And even though they're both famous and probably have a lot of money, he's being very like, this is going to happen whether you like it or not. He knows if he is making more money, he's going to have to pay some child support, even if they have a 50-50. If he's making more money and he has more custody, then that will reduce the likelihood of him actually having to pay child support. But he knows one of them is still going to have to pay child support, even if it's 50-50. But of course, the person with lower amount of custody will have to pay child support as well, just depending on what custody schedule they come out with. Okay. Wherefore, the petitioner Joseph Jonas respectfully requests the entry of a final judgment, dissolving the marriage between the parties on the ground that it is irretrievably broken, and awarding the parties shared parental responsibilities of the minor children, establishing a parenting plan, including a time-sharing schedule on both a temporary and permanent basis with the children's primary residence in Florida. He is basically trying to establish that no, they do not live in the UK when he filed on September 5th. Determining the April 27, 2019 prenuptial agreement to be valid and enforceable, requiring the parties to comply with the terms of the prenuptial agreement, establishing the child support obligation of each party, and granting such other and further relief the court may deem equitable and just. They go ahead and certify it. They file their divorce. So boom, this is Joe Jonas's divorce petition. I was very shocked to see what it looks like, because it definitely looks a lot different than the petitions that I have to file on a regular basis. But he definitely wants to establish like, hey, no, this is their home. Do not allow her to take them to the UK permanently. They were born in America. They were raised in America. She just came up with this crazy idea to bring us all to the UK. I do not agree with it. So court, please get us a custody schedule in place. All right, let me go ahead and see what is going on in the chat. We don't have any chats coming in on TikTok. If you guys are live on TikTok, please feel free to drop a hello in what is going on. And hit the like button, because we're still at 29 likes over there. We are on YouTube as well. If you want to see what I'm actually sharing on my screen, we are at 12 likes. Thank you everyone that has hit the like button, and 9 people watching live. Like I said, I posted late, so we don't have as many friends coming in today right now, but hopefully people will join us later. We're going to jump a little bit more into what is actually going on as far as their divorce, but let me go ahead and check the chat, see what's going on. And Word says, oh, I like those little bees. Thank you very much. I thought it added a little sauce to what's going on. Nissa Howard, hello. Another member of the channel saying hi. Bree, hello. How are you today? Nice to see you tonight. Tony saying hi to Nissa. And Word says, he was grimy for filing in Florida. I think that the jurisdiction, and for those of you just coming in, the jurisdiction regarding Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner's divorce, I think that the jurisdiction is in Florida. I understand it sucks because he was living in New York at the time and she was in the UK. But when you're moving around, it's hard to determine like where to file. I think that the domicile is in Florida. Feel free to drop why you don't think so. Tiny D says Wi-Fi is good for me. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. It was telling me it wasn't, so I'm glad it didn't glitch for you guys. And Word says, I don't believe they were. They were both working either out of state or the country. The house was sold. Yes, but you have to look at the last 6 months. He barely missed it. He filed in September. The house was sold in April. So technically they were still within the 6 months. And Ward says he's grimy. He set it up in Florida. You are not going for it. You are absolutely not going for it, right? You cannot. You are not siding with Joe Jonas. Chantel says, hello, everyone. Hello. Nice to see you tonight. N-Word says, either way, they had no intention of living in Florida. They had left him touring. She's filming. I agree with that. But you run this situation of if that is where you were living to begin with. It's very hard to then say, okay, well, we're going to file in this county that has like no record of us ever. But I definitely understand. I feel your energy going towards it. It's not fair. Maybe it's not fair, but it is the law. Tiny D says, I love the beep. Yeah, we're going to be cussing now. We're going to be cussing. Okay. Okay. Y'all know I don't cuss, but we're going to pretend like I do. We are going to pretend like I do. Okay. Kimmy Locker says to Ann Ward, I agree. Joe's been grimy. Her allegedly finding out through the news and his mom shaming, and disagree with the claim they've been living in Florida, but don't know where else he could have filed. Exactly. That is. She tried to say they established domicile somewhere else, which if she is able to succeed on that argument is great. But I'm thinking the most likely outcome is going to be the fact that they're going to be domiciled in Florida. It was still within the 6 months. So Florida will probably have jurisdiction. They also have record of buying a house there, not all of these other places. I mean, maybe the UK that was being built. But again, they just technically moved there. And at the time, the kids and Joe were in the United States. She was elsewhere doing a job. So I think the Florida is what's going to apply. But hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It's okay. And where it says, okay, I'm done, I think. We love the insight. We love your thoughts. Tanya D waving to Chantel. Tanya D says, tell us how you really feel and did. And did tell us. And Word says to Kimmy, I don't know, but the courts would direct them if he was honest and said, we currently have no primary residence. But that's the thing. Someone would have to take jurisdiction. And I'm thinking that the ball lands in Florida. And I think that Sophie thinks that the ball lands in Florida as well. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be in mediation coming to such great resolutions. That's my opinion. I digress on that. Hello to everyone joining in on TikTok. Hello to everyone that just came in on YouTube. For the people coming in on YouTube, we now have cool little effects. And guys, I even
have the voice changer, and I think it's pretty cool. Like, I see all of the other cool big YouTubers doing it, and now I can do it. I told y'all I was going to get a soundboard, and now we have the soundboard. So thank you, everyone that supports the channel, because without you, we wouldn't have the soundboard. I like this little voice.
There are also
different voices that, I don't know, this one doesn't really fit me.
Has nothing to do with the live stream. Let me not send us into a distraction. For those of you watching on TikTok, the soundboard and effects and things come in through YouTube. That's my main streaming platform, but we are introducing the Bree Hive to TikTok as well. So welcome in. All right, let me go ahead and go on to, that was the Joe Jonas divorce petition from Sophie Turner. And turns out that it looks like they may or may not be dismissing the actual divorce. So it may not. I know, Anne, you gave us all the energy regarding the divorce and where he filed and everything else, but they may be dismissing it anyways. But we appreciate the enthusiasm and thinking Joe is grimy. I'm thinking Joe Jonas is grimy as heck. Okay, so we have the consent order, and please excuse me if I am all out of order here. I think Kimmy did a good job in numbering it, but I will be very, very honest with y'all all. I did not have a chance to look at all of these before I decided to, before I downloaded them and pulled them up. So bear with me if I'm all out of order. And let's get to sharing our screen. Okay, let's make this bigger. We are down to one friend over on TikTok, but maybe we'll get some more friends. That's okay. Let's see here. We have Sophie Belinda Turner versus Joseph Adam Jonas. And this is a consent order. This consent order is made pursuant the 1980 Convention on Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction, the Hague Convention, and the International Child Abduction Remedies. And with the express consent and agreement of both parties as evidenced by the signatures on the of their respective counsel, it is therefore this 10th day of October 2023 by the United States District Court with the Southern District of New York hereby order that all proceedings and deadlines in this action shall be stayed pending further court order. And it is further ordered that all previously scheduled trial dates and court appearances in this action be hereby vacated. So what is this saying? This is basically saying the lawsuit is on pause. We are working on coming to maybe like a full agreement. And we don't want the court doing anything. We don't want to go to trial. I think the trial was set for like next year or something like that. We want the court to freaking pause this so that maybe we can come to some kind of agreement here. Let me see here. Yes, I got that. Sorry, y'all. I'm checking private chat. I'm not very good at talking and reading. I'm not very good at doing anything you're reading. I have to really focus on what the heck I'm doing. Tanya D says, I'm cracking up with the voices. I'm super excited to be a part of the voice effect crew because everybody else has it and I don't, or I didn't, but now we have it, y'all. Let's take a distraction realm regarding the setup of the new YouTube studio. I had to go to freaking Guitar Center like 20 million times because apparently they like to open the boxes and take things out of it and trying to show people what the freaking thing does. So I had to like return one of the Roadcasters, go get another Roadcaster. Then it was missing a wire. I went back and forth. I was like, no, I have to have this set up for y'all today. So I spent my whole day off yesterday getting all of this stuff together. So I'm super, super happy that I was able to work it out. But they really, really was messing with me and making me want to cuss. And y'all know we got the beeps so we can cuss. Okay, Chris Mullen, another member of the channel. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Saying, hey, Bree and Maj, dropping some Bree Hive emojis. Nice to see you here tonight. Tanya D saying, hey to Chris. Sokatoa said, Bree, your hair looks amazing today. Thank you very much. I thought it was a little cute with the little headphones, so thank you very much. I'm saying hi to Tanya. Hey, everybody say hey, hey, hey. Anworth says, the funny thing, I don't even know why these people, really, I mean, I know Joe Jonas, but I don't care about them. It's just so irritating the way it's going down. That is me on every case that I cover. Like, I barely cover any of these celebrities, but you get opinions about things. You want to know about them. And you have opinions on it, and that's okay. That's why we have the live stream to chat about those things. And we, like I said, we appreciate the energy behind it. Like I said earlier, they're not dismissing. Kimmy left me a chat. They're not dismissing the divorce, but they are. I believe they're staying it. If I skimmed this, so sorry if I'm saying anything wrong. But let's go on. I think they paused it, but let me see what's going on here. Okay. All right, so we have the actual custody agreement. So remember, they're staying the court proceedings regarding the custody. And then I have something for the abatement. Let me go ahead and look. Custody dismissal vacate order. Okay. Yeah, so there's an abatement. So let's go ahead and go through the abatement so we can get on the same page regarding that. And then we'll go into the actual custody agreement. So the Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Miami-Dade. So remember, this is where the divorce was actually filed. This cause having come before the court and the court being advised that an agreement has been reached by and between counsel for the parties regarding abatement. And the court being otherwise fully apprised. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share the screen. That would be nice. Instead of just looking at me trying to read, as we know it's a struggle. The court finds the parties are pursuing an amicable resolution of all matters related to the dissolution of their marriage. Let me see. This one is in New York. Okay. They have engaged in mediation and intend to engage in further mediation in the hope that they can reach an agreement on all issues without further involvement of the court. Because remember, the main issue that they're going to be having is trying to figure out what custody is going to be for the children in the lawsuit. I think they have 2 little girls, if I'm not mistaken. In order to facilitate the continued mediation process, the parties have agreed to abate the proceedings pending before the court until January 31st, 2021. And that's, yeah, they are pausing the divorce as well as pausing the custody issue, which is what I thought I said, but I'm sorry if I didn't say that. Either party may terminate the period of abatement by filing a notice of reactivation with the court, indicating that the case should be reactivated, and 10 days thereafter, the case will be deemed active. So they're agreeing to pause it for 3.5 months or so. And basically, if their negotiations is not going anywhere, one of them can file a motion to restart the case pretty much immediately in a way. As a result of their agreement to abate the case, the parties do not wish to proceed with the hearing on jurisdictional issues now scheduled for December 14, 2023. Remember, Sophie is contesting that their domicile is even in America. She is saying it's in the UK. So they had a hearing coming up on December 14th, and they're basically saying, let's pause that hearing or basically cancel that hearing until after January 31st, 2024, because they could potentially come to an agreement, which they really should, because they already have a custody arrangement in place. So they don't really need to really go through the court system. Jurisdiction really shouldn't matter. They signed the agreement. It's enforceable in America. And it probably has a provision of law within that agreement. It might say a U.S. state. It might say California. It might say Nevada because that's where they got married. But I'm 9 times out of 10 for sure that it has a state law provision that they need to follow. And it's probably not going to be UK law. So home girl, I don't know. Even if Florida is not deemed to be the domicile, I don't see it being handled in the UK, depending on what their what is it called? Prenuptial agreement said, their prenup said, right? Ordered in a judge, the case is hereby abated until January 31st, 2024. However, either party may reactivate this case by filing a notice of reactivation with the court. Thereafter, the case will become, they just repeated it. The hearing now scheduled for December 14, 2023. They didn't delay it. They just went ahead and canceled it, and they will reset it if it is necessary, which is completely fine. Done and ordered in chambers at Miami-Dade County, Florida on this 11th day of October. Okay, so on the 10th, they decided to stay the custody proceedings. On the 11th, they decided to what they're calling abate in Florida, but basically put a pause on it on the case for the actual divorce. Now, we do actually have the custody agreement of the parties, and let me go ahead and move these around so that I know those are things that I covered already. We do have the agreement for custody. I know y'all are nosy just as I am nosy. So in a moment, we will go ahead and look at what their actual agreement is. I'm trying to see where I was in the chat. Okay, there we go. It is like that sometimes, Tanya D. You just get invested when you see all the stuff popping up. Mary Malika says Breeze Harris does look amazing or awesome. Look, I'm making up words that's not even there. Thank you very much. She has one little section flipped on top, so it looks like she's wearing a tiara. Queen Bree, thank you. It does kind of look like that. I thought it was a cute little style. Thank you guys. I appreciate the appreciation. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. We don't have any more friends on live other than our paralegal, Kimmy Locker, over here supporting the live stream. Definitely appreciate it, getting the watch hours up for us. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual custody agreement to see what is going on. What did they agree to? What did mediation lead them to agree to? I keep getting like these random things for people to join my live stream on TikTok. I guess they're like more willing to pop people onto your live, because I don't even see the people in the chat saying invite them to your live. I'm like, they're not even here. What do you mean? Okay. So we have 19 likes over on YouTube. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do. We are still at 29 likes over on TikTok. That's okay. If you are on TikTok and you haven't hit the like button over there, please do. All right. I think I already said that for YouTube. Let's go ahead and go. If you guys are not subscribed, please do subscribe if you like the content, if you like the channel. And like over here, we are cussing. We're cussing now. Okay. We are cussing now. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual agreement between the parties. And then after this, y'all, we're going to jump into the Lizzo lawsuit. We did briefly cover it on Thursday, or what was that, Tuesday last week. But my audio was all messed up. I don't know if you guys heard it all the way. So we're going to go through that again. And then from there, I don't know if we'll be able to cover the other stuff today. Or actually, let me know in the chat. Do you guys want to go over Lizzo's answer? Or do you want to jump into something else? We have Utah, the state of Utah suing TikTok, which we are on TikTok right now. So they probably, TikTok probably won't like that one. I'm promoting their lawsuit. Talking about the lawsuit against them. We also have Jason Derulo, which I saw this last week, but decided not to cover it. But Kimmy found it for us today. So we have it if you guys want to cover it. He is being sued for SH, sexual harassment. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but I just did. He's being sued for that. And it's, I guess, kind of similar to maybe the Lizzo lawsuit, maybe not so much. I probably said it in the Lizzo lawsuit. So me trying to be all uppity now is not the best, it's not the best. And then we also have Elon Musk, his custody lawsuit. So that's going to be more along the line of, it's got a lot of redactions, more along the lines of this Joe Jonas stuff. So let me know. I think this one would be better off doing as its own, or not own stream, but putting Elon on the thumbnail and covering that on Thursday. So let me know in the chat what case you guys want to cover. Go back over Lizzo, do the Utah versus TikTok, or Jason Derulo's, wait, what did I say? Lizzo, Utah versus TikTok, Jason Derulo, sexual harassment, or Elon Musk custody issue. Let me know in the chat. While you do that, we're going to go over the custody agreement between Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. So boom, let's go ahead and share the screen. I will be, oops, that covered my whole face. Tiny this time. That's really tiny. Where's the other one? I don't even know where that one is. Is there not? Where's my little one? This one. There we go. There we go. Okay. Before the court is the verified petition for return of the children to England, filed by Sophie. The responsive pleading of the respondent, Joseph Jonas, is not due yet. The parties are engaged in mediation with the United States and the United Kingdom co-mediators. That was interesting for them to do, just get both mediators from both countries. The parties have reached this second interim consent order as a result of their participation in mediation, which remains ongoing. I'm very surprised that they actually released the agreement. That's very surprising to me. Usually stuff like that. Well, I guess if it's a divorce case, or now this one is a custody case. And in California, the custody case is when you're not married or private. But for whatever reason, custody when you are married is open to the public. Whatever. I don't know why that is a thing. This second interim makes no determination on the merits of the petition or on either party's respective claims and defenses, and it is entered without prejudice to either party's position. Due to the ongoing and productive nature of mediation, the parties jointly request entry of the second interim consent order in anticipation of an amicable resolution of all issues being reached upon the consent of both parties, as indicated by the signatures of their respective counsels below. So they're basically trying to enter into an agreement to avoid the court making the decision for you. As I tell all of my clients in family law, it is better if you make a decision rather than the court making the decision. They don't know you. They don't know your kids. They don't know your husband or your wife. So if you can become to an agreement with the person you decided to have a baby with, that is probably going to be the best outcome over the court making the decision for you. Unless for whatever reason the court orders you all the custody and you don't want the other party to have any custody, and you guys can't come to that simple agreement. But if you are more looking for a joint custody schedule every other weekend, if you can come up with that, it's probably for the best. And it will save you a lot of money from going back and forth to court. Okay. Ordered. The parties' children, WRJ born 2020 and DMJ born in 2022, collectively called the children, shall be with mother from October 9th through October 21st. During the children's time with mother, the mother may temporarily travel with the children to the United Kingdom and or to any state in the United States. The mother or the children's nanny shall bring the children to New York on October 21st, 2023, and it is further ordered. It's going to go into it. I just kind of wanted to touch base on the last live stream regarding this. If you Kimmy put a poll in the chat to see which case we should cover. So if you haven't voted in the poll in the chat on YouTube, please do vote so that once we're done with this agreement, we will have our answer on what case to cover. So where was I going? Okay. Let's get my life together here. What was I gonna say? When we covered this last time, they basically agreed for the kids not to leave New York for the time being. Now they are coming to another agreement where they're stating that y'all fired employee is over here judging my new setup because it's legit and it's great. I know y'all haven't seen him in a while. Shoot, I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, so they agreed not to take the kids out of New York. Now they're saying mom gets to see the kids and she can leave New York. But it's only on a temporary basis. It looks like about 11 or so days, 12 or so days, the 9th to the 21st, 13 days. We'll get there eventually. About 13 days she gets to do or go wherever she wants with the kids on a temporary basis. It is, let me check my private chat. Is this one for me? It's so long, I can't focus on there. All right, got it. Okay, let's go back into the document here with the agreement. So mom gets to go somewhere with the kids for about 13 days. It's further ordered that the children shall be transferred to the father in New York City on October 21st, 2023, at a time and a location to be coordinated between the parties. Y'all figure it out. Get the kids back. The children shall be with father from October 21st, 2023 until November 2nd, 2023. During the children's time with father, the father may temporarily travel with the children to the United Kingdom and or to any state in the United States of America. The father or children's nanny shall bring the children to New York City on November 2nd, 2023. And it is further ordered. So you may ask, why did he agree for him to be able to go to UK? Maybe he has things in the UK. They also have a house in the UK. Or maybe he just wants to be nice, or they're building a house in the UK. Or maybe he just wants to be nice and take the children to see their mom during his time. We don't know, but it basically just makes it equal for both parties to be able to travel wherever they want, other than another country, other than the UK and the United States. So let's go ahead and see what else they have to say. It's further ordered that the children shall be transferred to mother in New York City on November 2nd. So basically they're going November 2nd to the 22nd. I can see where this is going. They can go anywhere or in the UK or the United States. Then they agreed that she would transfer the children back to, or then father should have the children from the 22nd to December 16th. And then they should bring the children back to me. That is a lot of work. That's a lot of, why do they have to keep going back to New York? Why do they have to keep going back to New York? These kids are going to be all over the place, but I guess they were already doing that before all of this junk happened. Okay, then from December 16th to the January 7th, the kids will be with mom. They have to bring the kids back to New York on the January 7th. And that's the end of the agreement as far as the travel goes. And they're basically hoping that sometime in between that, they will come to an agreement about, okay, what will be the long-term schedule for the children? This is not a sustainable order for the children. This is not a sustainable order for the children. I hope they come up with something better than this, because this is horrible. Unless they're both just staying in New York the whole time or just staying in UK the whole time, And I think what's probably going to happen is mom is always going to go to UK and dad is always going to go to New York or maybe even Florida to try to establish, no, y'all, see, this is where we really live. I do really live in the UK. So the case should be transferred to the UK if we cannot come to an agreement. So that's my opinion on that. Let's move on. They order that either party so requests the other party shall fully cooperate in obtaining a mirror order of the second interim consent order in the appropriate court in the United Kingdom. So we're putting some jurisdiction in the United Kingdom. Okay, that's cool. Ordered that the interim consent order entered by this court on September 25th, 2023 is hereby vacated. Remember, that is the one saying that neither party could leave New York. It's further ordered that the party shall file the same day as the filing of the request for the entry of the second interim consent order, a joint request that all proceedings and deadlines be stayed pending the order, a further order of the court. That is what we went over at the beginning of the stream. It's further ordered that the parties shall jointly submit a status report letter to this court on or before December 23rd, 2023, which shall address the status of mediation of these proceedings. So basically, as they're still going through everything and trying to figure everything out, the court wants an update on the 23rd to determine whether the case is going to then move forward after that, which is pretty smart. I think that's a pretty smart thing to put into place. So let me go ahead and check out the chat and see what the peeps are saying. Where was I at in the chat? Sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay. And where it says they're just gonna drag the kids between here and England back and forth 10 times between now and the new year. That will be awesome for their site. I agree with you. Completely agree with you. I hope this is not the long-term schedule. Every 2 weeks, they're on a plane going somewhere. They need a stable environment. And honestly, to tell you the truth, that's why they're in the position that they're in right now. Like, they don't even know where to file because they're all over the place. Get it together, famous people. Get it together. Mary Malarkey says the Utah lawsuit sounds interesting. Okay, maybe we'll check it out. I am seeing a lot of people are voting for Lizzo's dancers. So if you have not voted yet, please do enter your vote because right now Lizzo is winning. To go back over that, Tiny D says Spicy Brie is either going to have fun with the button or forget to hit the button when she's on the rant. That is true. That's probably true because we're cussing now. Okay. Edward says it's like that sometimes. Tiny says Utah does sound interesting. Okay. We got some votes for Utah. Kimmy Locker says to me, made a poll for the next topic. Okay, thank you. Got it. Okay, that's what I was like. What is this? I got it. The timeline. Mary Malarkey says I'm excited about the new soundboard too. Thank you very much. I am super excited. I got to figure out how to add more stuff to it. Y'all, this setup, it's a lot. I have to figure out how to make it go. But for right now, we're doing good. I'm hoping that the audio sounds okay for you guys, which no one has complained. So I think it's okay. And I'm in my earphones and it sounds okay. So I hope it also sounds okay for everyone else. Here we go. Tiny says Alpha makes an appearance. Right. Finally. He's over there. I want he stopped bumping music downstairs. I don't know what he's doing. Crystal Harris says the husband Alpha. Yes, he stopped by. Miss Muller said, "Is that Mr. Bree?" He is Mr. Bree. I like that name. I like that name better than Alpha. Tiny D says, "Did anyone else buffer or just me?" I didn't see the buffer on my end, but of course, I'm not watching the live other than on my little studio to the side, but let me know. Mary Malarkey says, what went sour in the relationship so early in their marriage? It sounds like they were just all over the place. They could not have been spending like a good amount of time with each other with as much as they were freaking traveling. Like, I cannot believe that they were actually spending time together. And I'm thinking, my opinion, this is my speculation and it has not been confirmed. I think that he didn't really want to move to the UK and she really did. And now they're separating. Mary Malarkey says audio sounds perfect. Oh, thank you. Super excited. I'm glad it was worth it. Chris Mullen says, you need to do the voices. They are fun. They sound great. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. We got a
robot. I don't know. My favorite one is the
high-pitched one. I think it's the cutest one. I don't really like the... I feel like when I'm talking in this voice, my natural voice goes higher. I can hear it in my ear.
yes. And so this is a little robot. It's what they call a small robot. And this is the big robot. I don't know why. I guess this one sounds younger in a way. I don't use the megaphone one because when I tried to use it, when I was practicing, it kept making like a squeaky noise, so I probably won't use that one on here.
This is the deep voice. This is a monster, which sounds pretty similar, but this one has an echo. Yeah. And that's how I kiss.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this one is my favorite. I don't know about the other ones. There should be some more, but I haven't figured out how to use it. Okay, we are taking a brief intermission with the soundboard, so let's go ahead and check out what songs we have. This is interesting. I don't know what you guys think. And then we have the horn, so you know we can be super excited when people join in. You can give an applause. I will probably add some more. Let me get this voice off.
I'll probably add some more once I can figure out how to download stuff into it. Let's go back to which one am I on? Okay. So we have the air horn, we did the applause, we have record scratch when some out of pocket stuff happens. We have crickets when I guess I'm being boring. And then we have that little, they call it chimes. And that's when someone loses. Someone loses and we get to make fun of them. And that's for a joke, I guess. All right. So you guys have explored the soundboard as much as I have explored it. I can download more sounds into it. And I can also like clip things from the actual YouTube channel or just like things that I say that I can add into there. So let me know what sound effects. Do I have any taglines? And maybe we'll come up with a theme song. Maybe we need a theme song, okay? Let's see where we're at here. Chris Mullen says you need to do the voices. Those are fun. Okay. Chris Harris says high pitch for the win. That's my favorite one. Chris Mullen, crack it up. I'm sorry. Okay, so Harris says it's Esma from Emperor's New Groove. Is that my voice? Yeah. Is that my voice? Chris Mullen says that's great. And Mary Malaki says the monster could be fun for Bree Rant. I feel like it's a little slow. I feel like the deeper ones are too slow for the speed that I talk in.
But I don't know. I guess. You know what it sounds like to me if you watched Fairly Odd Parents? It sounds very similar to Double T in the Morning. But so does this one. Like I'm Double T in the Morning. If you're watching on YouTube or on TikTok, you can't hear what I'm talking about because the soundboard is going into YouTube live stream. So I'm messing around with the effects. Okay, let me
go regular. And then it sounds all funny when my voice comes back on regular. It sounds all high pitched. Okay, so we went ahead and covered the Jonas Turner issue. Chris Mullen says one day on stream, Rob started his stream with a voice changer turned on and did not realize it. No one made any comment about it. He finally realized himself. Yes, and that is why I actually have on the headphones. I think once I get more used to the soundboard, I won't wear the headphones anymore, but I want to make sure that the audio sounds good. So I hope he didn't have on the headphones when he realized that it was not him talking. Tanya D says the voice would be hilarious for a rant. Maybe it can work. It can work. You got to get loud with people. Mary Malarkey says maybe the little girl voice would work for your rants. I feel like it because it's like more sped up. Okay, let's see what the poll says. The poll says, what should we cover next? Lizzo's answer to her dancers. Jason Derulo sued for SH. Grimes Musk custody. And the Utah versus TikTok. We got 50% going for the Lizzo answer for dancers. So we're going to go back over that and hopefully it's a little bit clearer. And then we have the Jason Derulo. No one voted for that. No one wanted to listen to Jason Derulo's case. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. I haven't had time to go over it yet. He doesn't seem that relevant to me, so maybe that's why. Grimes Musk custody order that we got 25%, and then the Utah versus TikTok we got 25%. So those ones will probably be covered on Thursday, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into Lizzo's answers since these were the cases on the docket anyways. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into that. And I also want to start. I love our Reddit streams. Sometimes I debate y'all just doing Reddit streams because I feel like those are like way easier and it gets like a lot of interaction between us. So I really like those kind of streams. And I also watch that on TikTok, and in my pastime, I watch Reddit stories. So I'm thinking about switching over to that kind of content and not covering as much celebrity or lawsuit stuff. Let me know what y'all think about it. I don't know. And we may have to do it just like every Thursday or every 2 weeks or something, but I do want to do more of like the Reddit content. But these lawsuits are good. Kimmy found some great lawsuits for me. So we may have to do a little mix of the channel. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into Lizzo's dancers lawsuit. If you guys remember when we first covered this lawsuit, and if you could hear through all my crazy audio issues on last Tuesday, Lizzo finally responded to her dancers lawsuit. 3 of her dancers sued her for basically like sexual harassment, religious harassment, unsafe working conditions, and all of these things. And Lizzo responded, and she responded back blazing. She had a lot to say to them. She was not playing with them. She was like, no, actually, it's your fault that you were harassed.
She said it's your fault that you were being harassed. You subjected yourself to those issues.
So let's go ahead and jump into it. I saw some other articles about her like wanting to expose the people that she kind of not that she kind of, but the dancers that sued her, of her wanted to expose them. And if you have been following the channel, you also know that we covered the lawsuit from her costume designer as well, who basically claimed I had secondhand embarrassment from the dancers having to change in front of the stage crew, which is an odd lawsuit, but nonetheless a lawsuit that was filed. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. We have the lawsuit including Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, Noel Rodriguez. Welcome in. What's going in? Oh, okay. And then they sued Lizzo, her company, and some of the people that worked for her. This is her answer to the complaint. Usually you're going to be looking at a general denial, which she does. She says, under the provisions of this California code, defendants deny generally and specifically each and every allegation contained in the complaint and the whole thereof, and deny plaintiffs have sustained any injury or loss by reason of any act or omission on parts of the defendant, and deny that plaintiff have been damaged and the amounts mentioned in the complaint or any amount whatsoever. I'm probably more on the line with Lizzo. Some of the claims seemed a little bit petty to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, I'm not sure if they really had good claims other than what were the ones that I can't even remember which ones that I thought were good. This general denial is not usually good to do in this way that she actually did it, because there probably is some things that have some truth to it in the complaint, like maybe her actual name, unless they named her wrong, or where she resides, or where her company is established. Those things are probably generally correct in the complaint. I can't really see too many people getting that wrong. Unless in her situation, they did get it wrong. Maybe they got the titles of the people that work for her wrong. I don't know. But she did a general denial of the whole complaint, which usually you might want to say, okay, yes, my name is Melissa, whoever the heck her name is, right? Okay, let's go into the first affirmative defense. I didn't finish this last time because I wanted to get into my Reddit stories, but that is all good. We still sitting at 29 likes on TikTok, so I guess we lost friends over there. Let's see what friends we have over here. We are currently at 28 likes. We are about to pass up the likes on TikTok. I love YouTube. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are at 28 likes. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. It helps us get more friends. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. The complaint fails to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action against defendants. Basically, it should be dismissed because they haven't given enough details. I think that several of the claims will get dismissed. I can't remember every single claim right now off the top of my head. The sexual harassment for me, I feel like that's one that can get dismissed. The religious harassment, I feel like that's one that can actually stick. Because why are you walking around asking that lady if she's a virgin? That's a little weird. Okay. The whole, I think there was one with like an injury that they didn't help her, or was that the clothing designer? I can't remember. But there are some, I think that they could, drop it for failure to state a claim, but there are some that will continue on, in my opinion. Okay. Second affirmative defense, unclean hands. Plaintiffs are guilty of unclean hands with regard to the matters at issue in the complaint and are therefore barred from seeking recovery thereon. All right, we just got hit with a bunch of likes by Guy Raku on TikTok. I guess that's how I get so many likes on TikTok quickly, because you can like more than once. So thank you for dropping some likes on the TikTok. Definitely appreciate it. Helping me out in the TikTok algorithm. So she goes on to say, Lizzo goes on to say that these dancers have unclean hands with regard to the matters at issue in the complaint and therefore are barred from seeking recovery thereon. What does that mean? It means that they also engaged in the activity. I cannot imagine homegirl going up to the dance director or whoever she was going up to saying, hey, hello, welcome. It's Wednesday. I am still a virgin. I don't see that happening, but sure, that could apply to some of the situations. Like, hey, they're the ones that said, let's go out to Bojangles or whatever the bar they went, or the club they went out to, that they said they were so offended because there were naked men dancing around. I think there are going to be some situations where there are unclean hands. You participated in the situation. We don't know. Maybe they were playing with the banana too and subjecting other people to banana gate. Okay. All right. She goes on. She goes on to say defendants are not liable in whole or in part to plaintiff because plaintiffs consented. So they agreed to be exposed to the things that they were exposed to on the tour. I would say probably as far as like dressing rooms and the costume designers situation, sure. The sexual harassment, I would say yes, they kind of, not the banana thing. I would not say they consented to the banana thing unless there's evidence that they also was playing with the banana. I don't know, Lizzo. I don't know, because you're not being very specific. But as far as like going to the clubs and things like that, because they thought they would lose their spot dancing, or they thought it would get them a better position on the stage, or whatever it is, I would consider that consent. But I don't know if you can get away with consent for the whole banana thing, Miss Lizzo. Fourth affirmative defense is estoppel. Plaintiffs are barred in whole or in part from pursuing a recovery from the defendants based on the doctrine of estoppel. Basically, it's not fair that they could sue me for this when they kind of agreed to it when they signed up for the dance team. Waiver. Plaintiffs are barred in whole or in part from pursuing recovery from defendants based on the doctrine of waiver. They basically said, hey, she was waving that banana around 5 days a week and they still kept coming to practice.
They still came to practice, okay? So they really wanted the banana, if you ask me.
I cannot with the voice effects. Okay, hello everyone joining in on TikTok. We got some people. We got a gifter badge. Thank you, Mary, for dropping some gifts over on TikTok. A rose. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Garuku says a banana gate ? Yes, banana gate. That's what I'm calling it. I'm gonna call it banana gate. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about with Banana Gate and the Lizzo lawsuit, where the dancers filed the lawsuit against Lizzo, they claimed that there was a dance instructor making kind of like inappropriate jokes with the banana, i.e. stuffing it down her throat, playing around with it, all kinds of things. So let me go ahead and jump into the chat on YouTube. And yes, that is Banana Gate over on over on Lizzo's lawsuit. So because let's see. Chris Mullen says 1 day on stream. Oh, you already read that one, Bree. I'm way behind, or I went too far up. Maybe the little girl voice will work for the rants. Tanya D says the only one I don't like is the megaphone. It's really choppy. Which one is? I didn't use the megaphone one because that's the one that kind of screams, and I don't like that. I don't want to hurt y'all ears. So it might
be one of the lower voice ones. I'm not sure. Is it like this one? Your answer's gonna come in really
late, so I don't know if that's helpful. Let's see. Mary Malarkey says, I like the Reddit content. I do too. Thank you. Chris Mullins is laughing, and Sokotoa says Banana Gate. Yes, Banana Gate all the way. That's what we should call it. Banana Gate with Lizzo. Mary Malarkey says, FYI, that's me over on TikTok. Oh, thank you very much. You're buffering a lot over there. Oh, it's saying I have really good signal, so I don't know why it's buffering, but thank you for letting me know. Let's go ahead and jump back into the affirmative defenses because Lizzo says, I am not
taking the blame for this. You agreed
to be subject
to my craziness. Okay? Okay.
All right, let's jump back into it. There we are. They're barred by waiver, ratification. Plaintiffs have ratified, acquiesced, condoned, and/or approved the acts or omissions of defendants in whole or in part. So they was like, yes, let's go to the strip club, girl. Let's go. And homegirl that was getting harassed about whether she was like a virgin or not, she consented to that. It's basically what they're saying. They're like, okay, yeah, you can ask me about that. I don't know about that, Lizzo. Maybe with the like actual, you know, I say the club stuff. I don't think that one's gonna pass. I can't remember everything they claimed. I'm gonna have to look at it. I'm gonna have to look at it again. Okay, privilege. Defendants are not liable in whole or in part to plaintiffs because any conduct alleged engaged in by defendants was privileged. So they're basically saying it's a secret. Did they sign an NDA? Are they not supposed to expose this thing? If that is the situation, she probably should have led with this privilege thing. Good faith. Plaintiffs' claims are barred in whole or in part because any conduct allegedly engaged in by defendants were undertaken in good faith and with good cause. In that situation, they thought everyone was okay with it. That's basically what that means. Legitimate business reasons. I probably should pull up the complaint. Do I have the complaint? Oh, not on this computer. If I have it, it's not on this computer. Oh, maybe it is on this computer. Let's see. Let's see if we have the complaint for Lizzo so I could see if I have the complaint for Lizzo to see what the actual, yay, we have it. Or this is the one from, yes, this is the one I need. Here we go. Can y'all see that? Yes. All right. So let's see what they claimed here. They had the sexual harassment. They had more sexual harassment. They had religious harassment, which is the thing about asking the girl about what she had going on down there. Failure to prevent religious harassment. The racial harassment. Oh, yeah, because they were saying that the people that worked for Lizzo was racist against Black women, which is odd. And basically that Lizzo didn't stop it. They did the disability discrimination, which was the girl that she got anxiety, so then her vision went blurry. So that was an issue. And then interference with prospective economic advantage, they basically told them they could not go get another job, but then they didn't pay them while they were on break. Okay, it's coming back to me. And then assault because I think someone snatched the phone out of somebody's hand. And then false imprisonment, they kept them in the room without giving them their phone back. Okay, so now we got a little bit of a refresher of what actually happened, going to the club, the banana, the asking the girl about her virginity. So those were the main things. And then you go into like, for whatever reason, them saying that the workers were racist against Black women when they worked for a Black woman. Lizzo, but it can happen. I'm not gonna say that one's not true, but I also don't think like statements were made definitively enough to say that they were being racist against the Black women. Remember, they were saying, oh, they were calling all the Black women lazy, and I'm like, well, did they also call the white ladies lazy too? We don't really know. We'll see. Okay. So let's see here. Legitimate business reasons. I don't know how that would apply to any of those, honestly. I don't see how any of those would apply. I don't think you need to snatch nobody's phone. I don't think you need to lock nobody in the room. I don't know about the legitimate business reason, Lizzo. Maybe in the clothing designer one where she was complaining about that the dancers were exposed to like the stage crew while they're changing backstage. Maybe in that one, but in this one, I don't think so. Plaintiffs are barred in whole or in part from recovering under the complaint by after acquired evidence doctrine. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but maybe they talked to somebody. I'm assuming they got some type of evidence that they were not supposed to have access to or something. But to tell y'all the truth, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Failure to pursue alternative dispute resolution. Plaintiffs' claim are barred in whole or in part by plaintiffs' failure to mediate. Am I dropping comments? Oh, well, that must be Kimmy. I'm like, why am I putting comments in there? Oh, my bad. Plaintiffs' claims are barred in whole or in part by plaintiffs' failure to mediate in good faith pursuant to the terms of their contract with the defendants BGBT. Plaintiffs' claims are also barred in whole or in part because they are subject to arbitration pursuant to the terms of the plaintiff's contract with the defendants BGBT. If you guys watch the P. Diddy lawsuit, remember the court in that case, which I believe is in New York, if I remember correctly, they denied to enforce the mandatory arbitration clause. I have a good feeling that they're probably going to refuse to enforce it in this case as well, because courts don't like mandatory arbitration, final decision making. I don't know exactly what their contract said, but if it's a mandatory arbitration or if it's not mandatory, then they can file the lawsuit. So I'm thinking they're going to deny enforcing that provision. Justification. Plaintiffs' claims are barred in whole or in part because defendants' conduct were justified. How? How were they justified? I really want you to explain to me.
How were they justified? How were they justified? You're waiting the banana in these people's face, Lizzo. And you decided to invite them to the bar. I don't think that's a strong claim. I'll give you that. I don't think that's a strong claim.
But
I just need to turn off a voice. I don't think that was a strong claim. You asking about that girl's goodies. I don't see why you would justify it in asking about her goodies. Now, the thing about the disability, I don't think that's a strong argument. How is we supposed to know your anxiety caused you to lose vision and you needed to record a conversation, but you didn't ask permission to record the conversation? So there's that. Oh, maybe that's what they meant by the privilege. Like they were privileged in that situation not being recorded because they didn't allow phones and she secretly recorded them. So maybe that's what they meant by privileged. As far as locking that girl in the room, I guess you can justify that. Not letting them go dance for other people, I think you can justify that. Maybe that one goes to the ordinary business practices of where, no, you can't go dance for somebody else. You might go get hurt. You might not come back on time, things like that. Let me see here. Oh, no, it's no problem, Kimmy. That's no problem. I'm like, wait a minute, that's me. How did I do that? No. Let's see. What's the next one? 13th. We're on 13th. I think we're making it a little further than on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we didn't finish all of these affirmative defenses. 13th affirmative defense, unjust enrichment. Plaintiffs are not entitled to relief sought under defendants in this complaint, and granting plaintiffs such relief would be unjustly enrich plaintiffs and unjustly expose a loss to defendants. I don't know how you're going to argue that one. Basically, they're going to get money when they haven't worked for it, I guess is their argument there. Lack of causation. Plaintiff claims are barred in whole or in part because there was no injury, loss, or damage to the plaintiffs proximately caused by the defendants. They lost their job because they was in there fighting. They was in there recording people when they're not supposed to be recording them. So I would probably agree with no injury. There's no injury in that situation. You were doing something you weren't supposed to do. I would probably side with Lizzo on that point. Workers' compensation exclusivity. Any and all claims, but oh no, we didn't make it further. We covered this part on last Tuesday. Any and all claims by plaintiffs for damages for emotional, mental, or physical distress or injury are preempted by Workers' Compensation Act, California Labor Code sections, as the alleged injuries arose as a result of the course and scope of employment. Let's see. Okay, they said alleged. Okay, I was like, well, you just said that they didn't have no injury. So what are you talking about? This course lacks subject matter jurisdiction over plaintiff's claim and or lacks the power to grant certain remedies, which are within the exclusive province of the Workers' Compensation Appeals Board. I don't think that one's gonna go through really. I think the court can decide a lot of these issues. Maybe the fair housing thing. Fair employment and housing. Maybe they do have. I don't know. I don't know workers' compensation, so I wouldn't know. Okay. Intervening acts. Plaintiffs are informed and believe that all or part of the injuries, damages, and losses alleged by plaintiffs were caused by acts and conduct of other persons or entities other than defendants that intervened between the acts and conduct of defendants. Thus, plaintiffs allege injury, damages, and or losses, if any, are not recoverable by defendants. In the alternative, any damages which plaintiff may be entitled to recover against defendants, the existence of which defendants deny, must be reduced to the extent such damages are attributable to the intervening acts and or omissions of the person. So that may apply to the situation where homegirl was putting the banana in her mouth. That may apply to the situation where they went out to the club and everyone was encouraging them to participate with the dancers and things like that. Apportionment. In the event that any liability is found on the part of the defendant, an apportionment of fault must be made among all the parties, both named and unnamed, served and unserved. Remember, they said that other people kind of participated in the activities that occurred. They're basically trying to do like a vicarious liability to Lizzo and the main people because they're looking for the deep pockets. They're looking for the people with the money. Assumption of risk. Defendants allege that if plaintiffs are injured or damaged or alleged, which defendants deny, then plaintiff knew full and well of the risk involved and expressly and without coercion entered into said risk. I don't know. I don't know about that on a lot of the claims. Maybe some of the claims potentially. Like I said, I don't think the club one is a strong one. That one, I don't think so. The thing about the banana. Maybe the first time it was, harassed. I don't know. Maybe they could have assumed the risk on quite a few of the things, to tell you the truth. In my opinion, they did. Negligent conduct. Plaintiffs are barred in whole or in part from pursuing a recovery from defendants because of negligent conduct by plaintiffs or those under plaintiff's control. They basically showed up. I don't know. The other girl getting anxiety and getting blurry vision because, she needed to record the conversation. I don't know what that one would go to. Failure to mitigate damages. Plaintiffs have at all times been under a duty to take all reasonable action to minimize the damages alleged in the complaint. Plaintiffs have failed in whole or in part to comply with a duty and are therefore barred from recovering from the defendants for any damages that might have been avoided. How would they mitigate that? They was fired. How would they mitigate it? Contribution. If arguendo, plaintiffs were harmed as alleged in the complaint. Plaintiffs and others who are not defendants contributed in whole or in part to the plaintiff's harm. Again, that goes on to the people egging on, but again, they are trying to do this under a vicarious liability. They want the person with the money. Lizzo has the money. Big Girls ENT or whatever her company is called, they have the money. Constitutionally protected conduct. Okay, where are you going with this one? Plaintiffs' claims are barred to the extent they arise from defendants' exercise of their rights of freedom of speech and or religion protected in without limitations the United States Constitution. So you say you can ask about that girl's religious belief because of freedom of speech? Ma'am. Avoidable consequences doctrine. She has a lot of affirmative defenses. We are on 33 affirmative defenses blaming these other people. Now, do I think that all of their claims are legitimate? No. But 33 affirmative defenses is excessive. They just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Or what is it? Throwing the spaghetti at the wall and seeing if the noodles stick. Okay. Avoidable consequences. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part by the avoidable consequence doctrine because plaintiff's damages, if any, would have been reduced or eliminated entirely if plaintiffs had not unreasonably failed to report the alleged unlawful and wrongful acts. They stated that they did tell you, though. They said, we did let you know, we did tell you, and you just ignored us. So that's going to be a situation of who has the best proof on that. Managerial discretion. Defendants allege that any and all decisions made and actions taken by or on behalf of the defendants were made or taken in the exercise of proper managerial discretion in good faith. I don't know that law, but apparently managers can do what's necessary to make sure that the business is operating correctly. That's what I'm assuming that means. But like I said, I am not familiar with that. These headphones hurt my ears. Okay? They're hurting my ears. Okay. Defendants cooperative fault. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part by plaintiff's failure to exercise ordinary care, caution, and prudence in connection with the events alleged in the complaint. Okay, we're going to blaming them again. I guess my description was pretty right about her just blaming them. Compliance with laws. Defendants allege they are not liable to plaintiffs for any damages they may have sustained because all of defendants' acts were performed fairly in good faith for a lawful purpose and in compliance with their obligation under all laws and regulations with regard to the subject matter of plaintiff's complaint and each and every purported cause of action contained therein. That is interesting. We don't know what laws she's saying that they complied with, but she's claiming that everything was in accordance with the laws. I said 20. I said 33rd earlier. No, we're only in the 20s. I'm sorry. That was a misstatement on my part. Internal complaint procedures. They failed. I'm sure they're going to say they failed to report it. Defendants allege that defendants had at all relevant times anti-discrimination and anti-harassment policies and complaint procedures in place. Plaintiffs failed to avail themselves of the internal procedures for complaints of discrimination and or harassment and failed to avail themselves of defendants' remedial measures taken with respect to the alleged discrimination and or harassment. Accordingly, any and all claims by plaintiffs were discrimination, harassment, and failure to prevent harassment and or discrimination are barred. So they're basically saying we have procedures, you didn't report it properly, so we could not exercise our diligence in making sure that everything was fixed prior to all of, your claims. Or prior to you being fired, really, because I think one girl quit and 2 got fired. Failure to exhaust administrative remedies. Plaintiffs' claims are barred because plaintiffs have failed to exhaust administrative remedies pursuant to the California government codes and all other applicable laws. 29th affirmative defense, legitimate non-discriminatory purpose, business necessity. The complaint and each and every cause of action alleged discrimination or retaliation therein is barred because any decision with respect to plaintiff's employment was made by defendants for legitimate, non-discriminatory, non-pretextual reasons, and defendants acted out of business necessity. I don't know if that's going to apply to everything, Lizzo. You need to tell me which ones this applies to. you're probably going to have to file an amended response or amended freaking affirmative defenses. Okay? You're going to have to file something because it's so broad. But I guess they're not the one proving their case. It's up to the plaintiff to prove their case, right? Let's see. Let's go ahead and go on to the 30th affirmative defense. We're almost done here. Absence of malice, fraud, or oppression. Plaintiffs are not entitled to recover punitive or exemplary damages herein, or any allegation with respect thereto should be stricken because plaintiff have failed to plead and cannot establish facts sufficient to support allegations of malice, oppression, or fraud. Basically, they didn't do bad things. They didn't do bad things, so they shouldn't be liable. Non-liability of punitive damages. To the extent plaintiffs allege punitive damages, the complaint fails to allege a claim for which punitive damages can be recovered. Defendants are not liable in whole or in part for punitive damages because they did not engage in wrongful conduct, authorize or ratify any wrongful conduct, have or advance knowledge of the unfitness of the employee and employ that employee with a conscious disregard of the rights and safety of others. Plaintiff's claims for exemplary and punitive damages must fail because the imposition of exemplary damages in the matter violates the United States Constitution, the public policy of the United States, blah, 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 blah. Additional affirmative defendants. Defendants presently have insufficient knowledge or information on which to form a belief as to whether they have had or whether they may have additional or yet unstated affirmative defenses. Defendants therefore reserve the right to assert additional affirmative defenses. Girl, if you didn't already throw the kitchen sink at them, like, what did you do? What did you do? Which ones can you be missing? I am pretty sure you got all of them. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Now I done messed up my little style playing with these headphones, but they're hurting my ears. My hair is too big or something, but that's hurting my ears. Sorry. Gotta fix my hair. Okay. Wherefore defendants pray for judgment as follow. Plaintiffs take nothing by way of the complaint as against defendants. That plaintiff complaint be dismissed in an entirety with prejudice. Leave me the heck alone. Or what? Leave me the alone. Yes, there's our cussing. For attorney's fees and or costs of the suit incurred herein and or for such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. All right. So that is the end. I did blah, blah, blah. And I was almost at the end. But yeah. What was that one anyways? Non-liability for punitive damages. We didn't do anything bad, so why should we be punished? Basically, kind of like what Amber Heard probably would have said. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on in the chat. I know I have been reading for a while, so I think I have to scroll up quite a bit to see what's going on. I think we left off at Bananagate. Bananagate, Lizzo and Bananagate. If you haven't, guys, if you haven't already hit the like button, I know this is probably impossible it is impossible for our YouTube live stream at this point. We have 399 likes over on TikTok. Thank you for everyone that stopped by TikTok to help us out. We are at 31 likes, which was my goal stream. I was hoping to hit 30 likes on the live stream today. But if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm, and we are still trying to get back on track because I had a couple of, MIAs over the last few months or so, but we're happy to be here, right? If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It helps us out. It helps us get friends. Mary Malarkey says, FYI, that's me. Oh, I think I already read that one. Okay, so I think it's the robot voice. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, thank you, Tanya D. J. Michael R.N., another member of the channel. Hello, welcome into the live stream saying, hey, nice to see you here in the live stream today. Kimmy Locker saying, hi to J. Michael R.N. Tanya D saying, I agree that some of those charges are frivolous. They even said they went on their own. They weren't coerced. Yes, exactly. Especially like the club one. I'm like, no, absolutely. The 2 club incidences, I'm like, no, absolutely not. You're outside of work hours. You're not required to go. You said you made no statements that the last girl that didn't go got fired or anything of that nature. So I don't think that they sit at their claim in that one. I definitely agree with you there, Tanya. Z Seltzer, another member of the channel, saying, sorry, so late. It's okay. Welcome into the live stream. I made the post late, so I didn't really expect for many people to be here tonight, but thank you for coming and joining in today. All right. Z Seltzer dropping some of our Bree Hive emojis. Thank you so much for that. Saying hi to Z Seltzer. Better late than never, says Kimmy Locker. Yes, of course. Listen, glad you made it to Z Seltzer. Rachel Mills says, did you hear she was sued by someone else, Costume Tech or something? Yes, we did cover that one on the channel. I think she has even less claims than these three. Okay, so, but I gotta remember what it is. So wait, if I press this button, what happens? Did that do anything for y'all? I don't know, because I have it on delayed, so I don't know if you guys will get my answer. And J. Michael RN says, it could be deemed coercion due to it being a boss telling them to go. I don't think that they gave us enough facts for that. They basically just said the boss said they actually said someone else said the boss said they had to go. And I already told her that you were coming and we did a head count and we already paid. But I don't know if you can blame that directly on Lizzo. But that is a good point to make. Kimmy Locker says to Rachel Mills, yep, Bree covered that complaint too. Link in the video description. Oh, thank you, Kimmy, for dropping that. Rachel Mills says, sorry, was getting my son to bed, so I've been in and out. That is okay. We are happy to have you here today. Isn't there I think that's misogyny because it's funny looking. As far as this goes, I don't know. I said, okay. That was Kimmy playing me in the chat. Kimmy Lockett says, eek, sorry, Bree, it's okay. I just got like spooked. It's like, what the heck is going on? Ooh, I wonder if there's like a ghost voice. We'll see. Rachel Mills says a lot of people in the Black community turned on Megan Thee Stallion when she came forward about lanes. That is very true. I don't see too many people turning on Lizzo though, but I also think that the claims are not as valid. I still support Megan Thee Stallion. I love Megan Thee Stallion. I never thought she was lying. I just didn't know what to believe, and apparently, justice was brought to her, so that's good for her. I think with that situation, it was more like don't tell on Black men, but that's like the same people that be like, free my cousin Ray Ray and Pookie, and the whole time they shot 3 kids at a playground. So I feel like that kind of situation was going on with Megan Thee Stallion. People probably was just looking for a reason not to like her. That's my opinion. Tanya D says to J. Michael RN, I could be mistaken, but they just said everyone was going, but not told to go. They said they just felt obligated to go. Their choice. Yes. So if I remember correctly, they were asked if they were going. They said yes, they were going. And then they decided to try to change their mind. And the person organizing the situation said, hey, it's too late. We already paid for it, so you have to go. But again, this was not Lizzo. On another occasion, they just said they felt they needed to go because if they didn't go, then they wouldn't, progress in their dance careers. So following the crowd, maybe, but is it like forcing you to go to that? Is that part of your job? Probably not. Kimmy Locker says, sorry for the confusion, Bree Hive. Bree's last message was from me. I clicked the wrong window. Too many tabs. It's okay. We appreciate the help. Tiny D says, yeah, that's the voice I don't like when you said, how is that justified? Shoot. I think it's the blue one. Tiny D says, I'm not buying the freedom of speech one. Yeah, the freedom of religion to ask her about her cooch. I don't think so. Can you say cooch on the air? Can you say that on the air? I already said it twice, and I finally got the beat together. J. Michael R.S. says, Tiny D, that could be considered coercion. Potentially. J. Michael R.N. says, if you want to be a team player, you would come. You don't have to, but see, you're there, babe. See, coercive. I see what you're saying with that, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. We can look up the definition of coercion. Tiny D says people are too sensitive. Maybe I'm different. If I don't want to go somewhere, I won't. Fire me. I don't care. Agreed. I'm right there with you, Tiny D. Right there with you. I don't got time for that. I don't want to be a part of the party. I don't want to be a part of the party. Tiny D says, I get it, but I'm built different. Tiny D says, maybe it's just my anxiety, introverted personality. Yes, especially if something is making you uncomfortable. There is no reason why you have to go. But I also do understand what J. Michael is saying as far as like it being the culture of the industry and not wanting to lose the job. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. J. Michael RN says, well, nice having you with the team. Enjoy your flight home. Enjoy Coach on the dime. That's not nice. Kimmy Locker cracking up. Mary Malaki says, okay, you have to use the soundboard when dropping Amber Heard's name. Face blue, wide eyes. What sound should she be? What sound should she be? That's the only like that kind of sound that I have. So let's see what page. I gotta figure out the order for that. Yeah, I don't know what other sound I could use. I wonder if there's another little beep sound. I don't know. I like that one because it lets me cuss. All right. So, anyways, I hope you guys like the new setup. I know I got off a topic a little bit, but I'm pretty excited about the new setup coming along. It's not quite done yet. I have to get some more tech things so that my double camera works. I am not doing the StreamYard thing. I'm gonna spend more money doing something else that will eventually pay for itself rather than spending $25 extra on StreamYard. Sorry, StreamYard. It'll pay for itself in a year or so with doing the switchboard. So I still have to get that. And then this other device that I took back because I thought it did the same thing as the Rodecaster, but it didn't. So I have a couple more pieces of gear to get the stream exactly where I want it to be. And then we got to program some cool little graphics and stuff into the stream where I want it to be. So sorry for getting off topic for those of you that came for the lawsuits. I'm just super, super excited. Thank you guys for participating in the chat. It was a lot of good conversations going on, a lot of good opinions. I'm happy that Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner are coming to some type of agreement regarding the custody. Like I said, that's really the best thing to do. And instead of arguing, no, we live in UK, no, we live in Florida and or New York or, you know, on top of the world in Timbuktu. I think that is a better way, a better use of their money is to go to mediation and come to an agreement rather than fighting over where they actually live because they are celebrities and they moved around 24/7. As far as Lizzo goes, her response was not the best to me. I didn't like the general denial because, like I said, there's probably some things in there that were true, like where she lives and things like that. And then as far as her affirmative defenses, I think it was just too many. It was too many. She had 31 affirmative defenses and then said, I might have more. Hold up. I
will be back. I will be back once I figure out what the heck they're alleging. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put more affirmative defenses in there. I didn't like that. I really did not like that.
So hopefully they will not add any more affirmative defenses. And I'm kind of hoping that the court will ask them to not confirm, but kind of consolidate the affirmative defenses. Which one does this one apply to? Because I see where some of them may apply to certain things, but like kind of this catch-all and they all apply to every single one. I don't like it. I also do not practice this kind of law, so I don't know if this is like permitted and acceptable in the court that it's filed in. So that is all that we have for today. Thank you guys for joining me live. We will be back on Thursday to cover some more lawsuits. I'm thinking that we can cover TikTok and the Elon Musk custody because y'all seem to like the custody stuff. Thank you for joining me here live tonight, and I will see you all.